go back to the 90s!
Boom shakalaka!
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
My flows hit you at straight 88 miles per hour, that's enough to generate 1.21 gigawatts, son, and I'm on the run from the Libyans. It was a straight jack move for plutonium, and when they van rolls up, it's pandemonium. 1:18 a.m. at Twin Pines Mall is when I can pinpoint my total downfall. Now they say that
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the first ever Nostal-Ged Top 10 Favourites list. The reason why we call it Top 10 Favourites and not Top 10 Best is because it's all subjective. Everybody has their favourites, and if you disagree, perfect. Comment in the comment section below, let me know your favourites. And we are going to kick off with the top 10 favourite Simpsons episodes. The Simpsons has been on the air since I was 3 years old. We're up to 639 episodes and counting. So this could easily be top 20, top 30, top 50. Hell, it could be a top 100 episodes and they would all be gems. Having said that, there are actually no episodes after season 10 in my top 10 favourite Simpsons episodes. So I may revisit this and do a top 10 favourite episodes after season 10. Let me know in the comment section if you'd be interested in that. So let's get into it. The top 10 favourite Simpsons episodes. When new TV star Gabbo forces Krusty off the telly, it's up to Bart and Lisa to round up Krusty's superstar friends for a comeback special. This is the most star-studded Simpsons episode of all time. It's got appearances from Johnny Carson, Hugh Hefner, Bette Midler, Elizabeth Taylor, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and the sadly departed Luke Perry as Krusty's half-brother. And Krusty belting out, "Did you ever know that you're my hero?" with Bette Midler. "I'll get you for this, Midler!" Kelsey Grammer returns in the best Sideshow Bob episode. After Bob starts sending death threats to Bart, the Simpsons are given a new identity and a new home. But Bob is hot on their tail. Bart will need to use all his cunning and his musical knowledge to get the better of Sideshow Bob in this classic episode.
Number 8. Number 8. Number 8. Number 8.
In this Conan O'Brien written episode, Mr. Burns is fined $3 million for hiding barrels and nuclear waste in the park, and the town is convinced to build a monorail in one of the greatest musical numbers in the show's history, with Phil Hartman's best turn as Lanley, Lyle Lanley. With Homer left in charge of the ill-fated monorail, with all the doomed passengers, including Leonard Nimoy, Homer's going to need the help of Marge and monorail scientist Sebastian Cobb to stop the monorail and save everybody. Mono, do! There are two great stories in this episode, the main story being of new employee at the plant, Frank Grimes, aka Grimy. Grimy soon finds himself amazed at Homer's level of incompetency and everybody else's blasé attitude towards him. Homer tries his best to befriend Grimy, only to fuel Grimy's hatred for him even further. In the meantime, after wandering into an auction, Bart buys a factory and employs Milhouse to be the security night watchman. The episode climaxes when Homer wins a competition designed for children, and Grimy goes on to do his best Homer Simpson impression. When Homer sees Lenny and Carl receiving preferential treatment at work, getting nicer chairs, better parking spaces, he decides to follow them and discovers a secret society known as the Stonecutters. Homer soon joins the group, led by Patrick Stewart as Number 1. When they discover Homer's birthmark, making him the chosen one, Homer goes mad with power and they start a new club, the No Homers Club. Left with only his Civil War reenacting monkeys, Homer comes to the realisation that he was part of a special group all along. After learning about employees being able to skip work for disability reasons, Homer enlists the help of Bart to gain enough weight to be classed as morbidly obese. Homer is loving life at home in his moo-moo. After getting somebody to fill in for him at work, Homer discovers that being £350 isn't all it's cracked up to be. From not being able to go into the cinema, to local kids making fun of him, Marge telling him he's not that physically attractive anymore. And to top it all off, Homer's new work assistant has caused a meltdown, and a very rotund Homer must race to the plant to save everyone. When Homer spots an alien after a night of drinking at Moe's, no one in the town believes him except for Bart and Agents Mulder and Scully of the FBI. Homer retraces his footsteps and manages to record the alien, and soon the whole town and the returning Leonard Nimoy gather to get a glimpse of the extraterrestrial, only to discover that the alien is in fact a smacked up radiation-soaked Mr. Burns. I love this episode. Even though I think there is better episodes, no episode has more jokes per quota that are funnier than this episode. Homer seeing the sign that says die, and then the wind blows it and it says diet, and he has an even worse reaction. When Lenny turns round and says, "It's bringing peace, break its legs!" Mulder and Scully showing up to Moe's and Moe randomly having a whale in the back. The fine stitching on the word dope. This episode is boss. After Homer is poached by a rival company, the Simpsons relocate to the picturesque Cypress Creek. Leaving their old lives behind, Homer is excelling in his new job with Globex Corporation, run by the greatest one-off character in Simpsons history, the James Bond baddie-esque Hank Scorpio. While Homer is doing great, the rest of the family is struggling with their new lives. Marge has turned to drinking, Lisa has allergies from her new environment, and Bart has been sent to remedial class. Homer has a hard decision about what is best for his family. Not the Denver Broncos. Only just missing out on the top spot, Homer at the bat. And it could have so easily been number one. When Mr. Burns places a $1 million bet on his power plant softball team, Homer and his co-workers find their spots on the team in jeopardy as Mr. Burns enlists the best Major League Baseball players of the time, well, of 1992. And they all do a great job. Roger Clemens, Wade Boggs, Ken Griffey Jr., Steve Sachs, Ozzie Smith, Jose Canseco, Don Mattingly, Mike Sosa. But the standout is New York Mets legend Darryl Strawberry. He gives one of the best celebrity appearances in Simpsons history. However, each of these superstars finds themselves incapacitated for hilarious reasons. Can Homer and the boys win the big game?
Well, Mr. Burns had done it. The power plant had won it, with Roger Clemens clucking all the while. Mike Socha's tragic illness made us smile, while Wade Boggs lay unconscious on the barroom tile. We're talking softball, from Maine to San Diego, talking softball. Mattingly and Canseco, Ken Griffey's grotesquely swollen jaw. Steve Sachs and his running with the ball. We're talking Homer, Ozzie and the Straw.
And number one, the greatest, my all-time favourite Simpsons episode. Okay, so I cheated a little bit. I know it's technically 2 episodes, but it's my list, so shut up. I still remember when this episode first came out in 1995, and it was everywhere. Magazine covers, it was on the news, there was competitions if you could figure it out. Hell, the bookies were running bets on who shot Mr. Burns. This was the Simpsons at their peak. When Skinner and Willie discover oil underneath the school, Mr. Burns hatches an evil plot to steal it. Not just happy with that, he also plans to block out the sun to increase the energy use in Springfield. This causes the whole town to hold a vendetta against him. Shortly after he's blocked out the sun, Mr. Burns is found shot in the car park, but who could have done it? I was 8 when this episode first aired, and I remember watching the second part on the edge of my seat, ready to find out who did it and loving the surprise twist at the end. When getting this list together, I rewatched a lot of episodes, and I mean a lot of episodes. The story is great, there's multiple suspects for who could have done it, the clues to who the killer was were clever, but this was the winner. Every joke pops. Simply put, it is the greatest Simpsons episode of all time. Congratulations to Who Shot Mr. Burns.
One that long, but an insulting song. Burns will always carry with him. So I settle my score on the salsa floor with this thankful Latin rhythm. Burn. Con el corazón de perro, señor Burn. El diablo con dinero. It may not surprise you, but all of us despise you. Please die and fry in hell, you rotten rich orange. Adios, viejo.
There you go, that's our first top 10 favourites list in the bag. There'll be plenty more of these coming, not just for TV shows, movies, music, we'll be covering loads. Remember, it is top 10 favourites, so if you don't agree, that's great. Make sure you comment in the section below. Let me know your favourite Simpsons episodes. Is there any obvious ones that I missed out on? And while you're in the comment section, don't forget, put the words Hall of Fame and then put your nominations for the Nostal-Ged Hall of Fame in. Coming up later this week, I've got another special guest. If you're a fan of Star Trek, you're going to love this one. If you're a fan of 80s and 90s films, you're going to love it as well. Remember to like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and comment, because remember guys, this is your channel as much as it is mine.